season? And do you feel like you belong in those conversations again this year?
Well, I feel like I belong in it. I feel like I am the MVP. I mean, it's that simple. Just, and I don't want to talk. I don't want to be, speaking division on myself. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I just try to go out there every single night and give my teammates everything that I can, bring to the game.
You saw a title. This isn't a case for Stephen Curry being MVP, but this is a case for Curry being the most valuable player? That's confusing. Whoa, wait, why funky spin facts? People love to say that, look, there are players with a higher plus minus than Curry, CJ McCollum is one of them, and therefore the entire stat is valueless, but we ain't putting all our eggs in that basket. Yeah, let's talk about it. What is up, dudes, that's Ballers Players. It's your boy MJ. Without their stars, most teams tend to look iffy, and even good teams need stars to push them over the edge. Some teams' entire offenses are designed around a star, a heavy isolation offense like the Rockets and James Harden in the past, where everything goes to the star. But in his MVP season, the Rockets were 3-4 without him. Not the worst, but there are players who can even transcend that. The Warriors in 2018-19 season with KD and Klay, but without Curry, went 5-8. During LeBron's prime seasons on the Heat without LeBron went 9-9. And oh yeah, without CJ McCollum this season, the Trailblazers have gone 14-11 thanks to Dame. Since 2017, the Warriors are 38-74 without Curry. The Warriors this season are 1-6 without Curry. G League team, huh? We can say that the Warriors designed their own offense, took parts from the Spurs, adopted to having the best three-point shooters in the NBA, Curry's in that offense, and he benefits. But even in that offense, even with KD and Klay, they couldn't win games consistently without Curry. Nowhere near the normal Warriors pace we're used to. Curry is the offense. He's the winning offense. And you can make the winning play by hitting that subscribe button. One hot take go tonight on Twitch. Give me your take and we'll talk about it. And just like Curry is a great ball handler, Manscaped, the sponsor of today's video, wants you to handle your balls. Pause. In honor of March basketball, Manscaped has partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. We save balls, like Jimmy Butler on a loose ball. And they send me their all-in-one grooming kit with their Lawnmower Groomer 3.0. It's waterproof, cordless, has a light, and prevents accidents down there. They got ball deodorant, crop mops. I'm not gonna lie, Manscaped has so many basketball puns like these will have you're stepping through competition. But they just nice and got aloe vera gel. So click the link in the description and use the code ALLDAY for 20% off and free shipping. Danny Green used it to avoid blue balls, Caruso used it for his beard, and it's for charity. If that ain't enough, I don't know what is. So click the link, use the code, and be a better version of yourself. A valuable player should contribute to winning, because that's the goal at the end of the day. The most valuable player and being the MVP of the league are two entirely different things, simply because the criteria is inconsistent. We say that the MVP of the league has to be on a winning team, but does he have to be the best player on the best team? Then we give leeway like how valuable he is to the team, but then would a bad team with a good player who is not winning be better off with another good player who leads to winning? How important are stats? And then there's narrative. Narrative shapes which players we want to give more attention to. Russell Westbrook won MVP while being 6th in the West because he was the first player in over 40 years to average a triple-double, and his team was bad. But what about a team that would have been 10th without him and the 3rd seed with him, like Harden that same year who nearly averaged a triple-double? LeBron's been in the conversation the past few years just because he's old and he's playing really well for being 35, 36, but that's not what his comparison's to. His comparison should be to the current players, but narrative allows him to be in that conversation. But there's never been a player like Curry who has that much off-ball presence. When defenders are leaving Durant wide open for dunks to cover you, you know you're different.
My body different.
If Kevin Durant is getting left open, what does that mean for other players? You guessed it, wide open central. For example, Wiggins gets 54% of his looks being open or wide open versus 47% last season in the same offense. The only difference is Curry's playing this season but not last season. And you can see that sort of impact for a lot of the Warriors players. This can all happen without Curry actually even touching the ball. The Warriors on this pace without Klay, but with Curry are on a 44-win pace. Without Curry, the Warriors are on a 13-game win pace. That G League comment looks more and more true, man.
What is that?
While it's true that other stars also face double teams while handling the ball, Curry is the only one that is facing that same level of tension off ball. I mean, shoot, NBA teams doing a box and one against Curry this season. A box and one. The defense that's designed to stop one person and forget everyone else. LeBron don't even face that shit. Why? Because this is a new team, and so not everyone knows where to go to, so the synergy ain't perfect yet, and teams can get away with just focusing on Curry. It leads to stuff like Curry dropping 16 points in the last 6 minutes of a game, and somehow still losing. That happened this past week. The defense blatantly just disregards everyone else, blitzes Curry, and Eric Spoelstra said this about Curry. What a nightmare, isn't he? I mean, what do? His level of skill, his conditioning level is probably the thing that doesn't get talked about enough. He's constantly on the move. He never stands still. In the fourth quarter alone this season, Curry's averaging 6.7 points on 53% from the field, 51% from 3, 98% from the free throw line, and is a plus 35. We've seen it against the Clippers, against the Lakers. He is just killing it in the fourth quarter. Now we can get to the stats, the things that are supposed to be all worldly for an MVP, and it is. 30 points per game, 6 assists per game, shooting over 40% from 3. We've gotten used to these numbers since there are more 27 point per game scorers this season than in the past 30 years. But that's still a superstar. Westbrook in his MVP season only missed one game in which the Thunder won, but wasn't really enough to tell a tale of how good they are with, without him, all that. But we can go one step further. Like I said, Curry is the winning offense, but his effect is even greater than LeBron, who is the star that makes his teammates better. Well, role players that is. Superstars tend to take a pretty big dip, but I've covered that in my LeBron James problem video 2 years ago. When LeBron is at his best, his dominance comes at the expense of other players. But his best is more than enough to carry teams to the finals. When Curry is at his best, everyone's at their best. Let's look at 2015-2016, Curry's previous run of dominance. In that season, ESPN had projections for every player performance, specifically field goal percentage, points per game, yada yada. If they beat their projections, they had a ratio of over 1. Under 1 if they missed it. Of all the newcomers on the Rockets, Thunder, Cavs, Warriors, only the newcomers on one team had a ratio above 1, and that was the Warriors. Newcomers did better on the Warriors, newcomers on the Cavs didn't. This isn't conclusive that, oh look, Curry makes teammates better than LeBron makes teammates better, but that's why you pair with all the on-off numbers, the records. It's the same story every time. Wiggins is having a career year. It's why we always say that every player would automatically get better if they go to the Warriors, because every player would be better with Curry. It was Giannis and Curry, now it's LeBron and Curry's. Man, the rumors just fly. But since we've been talking about value to a team, let's talk about franchise value for a sec. In 2010, the Warriors were bought for $450 million. They were the 12th most valuable franchise in the NBA. That was Curry's first year, and it's been a busy 10 years. Multiple MVPs, multiple championships later, and the Warriors in 2020 are worth $4.3 billion. The third most valuable franchise behind the Knicks and the Lakers. No other team in the NBA has made that large of a jump. 10 years ago, the Lakers were worth over $2 billion. Now they're worth a little over $4 billion. The Warriors, nearly 10 times that amount. So when I say most valuable player, I truly mean that Curry is the most valuable in every sense of the word. That doesn't mean that he should necessarily get MVP, because the MVP award is too inconsistent, too many narrative things. But man, I ain't forgetting anything Curry does this season. But what do you think? Who's the MVP this season? One hot take goes now on Twitch. Come on, man, give your takes. Let me see what you got. Go show some love to Manscaped. Yeah, shout out to Alex for being first, man. Thanks for the all-day support. If you liked the vid, hit the like button. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new or you've been watching for a minute. It's your boy MJ. We out and we vibing.
now. It's okay in moderation. For you, I got all the patience. So let's get high, let's get wasted. Okay, just hop in my spaceship now.